All right, so I welcome all of you to this program called Use Technology in Sales. And as I start this program for all of you, it's very, very important to understand what is the importance of today's topic. And if you see, we have used the word technology as a combination of tech-know-logy. So in this entire conversation, we are not expecting you to be masters of technology, but we surely expect you to know what you're doing and to know what you should be expecting. So right at the beginning of the program, I want to ask this question that if you own a car, do you know how to drive it? And I'm sure the answer from each one of you is yes. So if you own a car, I'm sure you know how to drive it. And by the same token, if you are running a business, you should surely be knowing how to run it. And in today's context, it's almost a no-brainer to make the statement that you cannot suitably run the function of sales without having a proper knowledge of how you can leverage the power of technology. So right at the beginning of the program, technology is an enabler. If you feel that technology is going to improve your sales, I think you're wrong. If you feel that if you start using technology, suddenly you'll become a very big businessman, well, indirectly, yes, but not a direct correlation. If you feel that technology is something which will suddenly increase your profits, no. You have to start thinking that technology is an enabler. And since it's an enabler, it will only enable, it will only facilitate, it will only progress whatever you're doing beyond a point. Now, when we look at the function of sales, and for the next half an hour, we are going to look at a very focused function of sales. So broadly, what are the areas in the function of sales where you and I feel that we may be able to make use of technology? So a couple of areas which came to me as feedback from many of you is you feel that technology can be used when you're forced to work in teams. You feel that if technology could help you, that would be great. Maybe technology could help you in the domain of lead generation. Of course, technology can help you in the area of social media management. And it has become so interesting now where social media is virtually taking over all other media. Technology can be a great enabler when it comes to customer relationship management and also social conversations. So I've just shared 5 points with you. And as I take you forward in today's program, I want to make a small disclaimer. I'm going to suggest or I'm going to tell about some technology items during the course of this program. It does not mean that I'm doing affiliate marketing for those companies, nor does it mean that they are the only options in the market. I'm just going to take names of certain technical options purely from the point of elucidating the point that I'm trying to make and not with a view to be selling those programs. So with that small bit of a disclaimer, let me first of all move to 10 technology hacks for sales. So these are the 10 technology hacks which I'm going to share with you today. And before I begin talking about these 10 technology hacks, it's important for all of you to understand that we are discussing technology purely from a perspective of non-technologist. आप एक चालक मालक हैं, आप एक कंपनी चलाते हैं, आप फाउंडर ऑफ ए कंपनी हैं, आप एक सेल्स मैनेजर हैं, आप सिस्टम में किसी और कंपिटेंसी के कारण हैं, आप टेक्नोलॉजी कंपिटेंसी के कारण सिस्टम में नहीं हैं. Still, what are the various technologies which you can make use of to run your business? That's the point of view that we are trying to say. So basically, these are technology hacks for non-technologists in sales. My first technology hack is how do you make use of technology to work in teams? Because if you're running the function of sales, you will have sales teams, you'll have sales members. And in COVID-19 times, it has become very clear that small and medium enterprise of India did not know how to make their teams work in absentia, in the sense that when they are not able to see the team in front of them, how do they extract work from them? And in the last 1 year, many of us have learned the importance of collaboration with teams, especially when all of us are working from home. So few challenges I've listed on the left hand side. So how to collaborate with teams in remote working? If output of A is input of B, how will the two collaborate in remote working? If A and B are working parallelly and A finishes first, he still has to wait for B to finish, isn't it? What is the impact on team targets due to individual performance? What are the weak links in the team? And how do you conduct regular Scrum meetings, especially when you're working from home? And how do you maintain minutes of all the meetings that you take? And how do you waste minimum time in following up with concerned departments? So, gentlemen, ladies, I have just tried to streamline some of the challenges that comes together when we start working in teams, especially working from home. And my technology hack there are a lot of collaboration tools available on the global marketplace, that is internet. So you could be using Google Meet, you could be using MS Teams, you could be using Pablo, you could be using Slack. So there are a lot of collaboration platforms. What you need to understand is there is some platform which you have to use if you want to collaborate with your teams on a remote sense of working. So before I take it forward, I want to know from you in the chat box as to what is your favorite collaboration platform. For me, the collaboration platform is Zoom. But for all of you, what is your favorite collaboration platform, especially when you're working with teams? Okay, so some of you, Rajesh Sharma says Zoom, Sanjay Agarwal says Zoom. Well, there are a lot of people who also work on MS Teams. There are a lot of people who are working on Google Meet. There are a lot of people who are working on WebEx. To each one to themselves. Okay, there's Abdul Aziz who says Google Meeting. So fantastic, wonderful. So we understand the nuances of a collaboration platform. And when you say Zoom, it is not just about clicking a link and getting onto a meeting, but you need to explore Zoom and you need to understand all the nuances of Zoom so that you are able to suitably collaborate with teams. Okay, let's quickly move to the next, and that's very, very interesting, lead generation. Now, lead generation in sales is, according to me, 70% of sales. If you know how to generate your leads, you have actually done 70% of your job. Now, the question here is that how do you use technology in lead generation? And I have listed down 5 different methods through which you can make use of technology for lead generation. So the first method is what I call auto lead responders. Now, what is an auto lead responder? And there's one company called mailmonkey.com, which works very well. It works like this. So the moment you raise a question or the moment you qualify to be a lead for someone, there's a monkey which pops up from MailMonkey and gives you a comment on your lead. It's an automated system. Some of you may have heard of sorry, chatbots. So this is also a kind of chatbot which you can integrate with your website. So anytime someone comes to your website or to your LinkedIn page or to any of those platforms, MailMonkey will become your online chatbot and respond to the lead based on how you have programmed the MailMonkey. Interesting, isn't it? Try it out. It's available for free. The next area where you need to work out on lead generation is drip lead campaigns. Now, for those of you who have not heard of drip lead campaigns, this is a simple way of setting up a drip lead campaign. You know why we call it drip lead campaign? Because just like in drip irrigation, Water first flows to a thick, huge pipe and then keeps on dripping to smaller dia pipes, and before it finally reaches every nook and corner of the irrigation plot. Similarly, in lead generation, you can have a huge data. Now, if you see on the screen, I have created a website form and I have shared an email with them, which could be a lead magnet. Now, depending on the number of people who respond to my first email, I send them welcome email. Then it drips down 2 days. After 2 days, I send my follow-up email. After 2 days, I send my second follow-up email. Now, can you imagine doing this simple activity over 10,000 database or 1 lakh database? You will then understand the importance of drip campaign, because you can automate this process of interaction. You can feed the logic. The logic is self-explanatory, and you can run a drip lead generation campaign where it can happen in the background. And one of the primary platforms which helps you in doing it is called activecampaign.com. There are many more. You have getresponse.com. You have many more of them. So don't bother about these names. These names are just examples for you to go and check out as to what they are and how they work. But what is important for you to understand is to understand what is a drip lead campaign and how do you fix a drip lead campaign for yourself in your own business. The third area in lead generation where technology can be very useful is called pre-qualifying leads. Now imagine a scenario where you have done a drip lead campaign and you start getting leads in drips and droplets. In the morning, you've got 1 lead. In the afternoon, you've got 4 leads. In the evening, you've got 5 leads. Now, many of these leads are not relevant. Many of these leads are irrelevant for your business. Now, the moment you start interacting with each one of them, it consumes so much time that the whole purpose is lost. So you have platforms which can help you pre-qualify your lead. Because आपके पास कोई lead आएगा तो आप शुरुआत में क्या करते हैं? आप उनसे कुछ सवाल पूछते हैं और उन सवालों के जवाब के बिना पे आप उस लीड को क्वालिफाई करते हैं और उसको आगे ले जाते हैं, है ना? तो प्री क्वालिफाइंग लीड्स भी वही काम करता है. उदाहरण के तौर पे you have a company called typeform.com. So typeform.com gives you a very interactive pre-qualifying lead questionnaire formation. So as soon as your lead is formed through a drip lead campaign, you can use platforms like typeform.com to pre-qualify those leads so that by the time they are pre-qualified and comes to you, you invest your quality time in talking to them. Now, once you have got pre-qualified leads, the lead would like to know that what time of the day can they meet you, or what time of the week can they talk to you. Now, this is again a headache, because if you are dealing with database of multiples of 10,000, the number of leads generated is high, and you will need a clerk to be giving appointments to each one of them. So there comes to your assistance this platform called calendly.com. This is basically a platform which helps you in calendar management to talk to leads. So you don't have to do anything. The lead will be translated to Calendly, and Calendly will run and manage your calendar. And based on how you have programmed Calendly, Calendly will start allocating appointments to the leads without intervening or without disturbing you. Interesting, isn't it? I mean, the first time I saw all this, guys, I was very interested. I was very excited. And the last you think in lead generation, you have this mass email marketing. And when you do mass email marketing in a manual mode, you are not left with any analytics. आपने 1000 ईमेल भेजने के बाद कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आती है और आप सोचने बैठ जाते हो कि यार आगे क्या करूं. But if you use platforms like mailchimp.com, they give you analytics of how many emails were opened, how many emails of yours were forwarded, how many emails were used within a single company, and so on and so forth. So that after sending 1,000 leads, which are the 10 email IDs on which you need to focus is something which you will know out of mass email marketing. Platforms like mailchimp.com. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the 5 ways, minimum 5 ways in which you can make use of technology to be automating lead generation process at your end. Before I move forward, I want to quickly go to the chat box and check out, do you find this interesting? If you find this interesting, please give me a boom. Give me a boom. If you find it interesting, do you find it relevant? Do you think that you can make use of it? All right, I'm going to the chat box and I'm looking at people. Okay, I got a boom from Rajesh Sharma, Sanjay Agarwal, Millie Juneja, Abdul Aziz, Shivam Gupta. Okay, everyone is on a boom mode. Okay, fine. Thank you so much. So quickly moving on to the third aspect, and I promised you that I'm going to share 10 various aspects of use of technology in enhancing sales. The third one is a no-brainer, social media management, very important these days. I'm looking at 3 aspects of social media management: graphic designing. You have platforms like canva.com. You have platforms like visme.co, which helps you in creating wonderful PowerPoints. If you have not tried it, please try visme.com and you'll understand you can make great PowerPoint presentations. Video. So to be making and editing your own video, you can go to platforms like bytable.com, invideo.com. So invideo.com helps you in editing your own videos and bytable.com helps you in creating your own videos. And as I told you in the beginning of the program, that these are not the only options. You have 10,000 other options available. It all depends as to which one do you want to go for. And then the third, the scheduler. A lot of times when you're handling 6, 7, 8 different social media platforms and you want to schedule your content in advance so that every day you don't have to waste your time in scheduling content. I personally use hootsuite.com. Again, there are many more options which you can make use of. So social media management is the third aspect. The fourth aspect I'm coming to is why CRM. So customer relationship management is again a very important aspect where we need to use technology. And now it is sufficiently clear to all of us that CRM is not meant for rich people. CRM is not meant for people who are very, very advanced in their careers. CRM is a basic necessity which must be used by everyone. Now, I personally advocate HubSpot.com. That's my favorite, but that does not mean that it is the only option. So you have Joho.com, Sugar.com, and so many others which you can use for CRM. On this slide, I'm trying to educate you as to why you need to use technology for your CRM, because a lot of you tell me that, sir, Excel sheet में मैं कर लेता हूँ और Excel sheet के through मैं अपना CRM बना लेता हूँ. No, it doesn't work like that, gentlemen, ladies. You see, why we need CRM is because we have these 5 stages of a customer. So when the customer joins us for the first time, it is first time customer. Some of them become repeat customers. Some of them become habitual customers, loyal customers, and VIP customers. So ये जो journey है from first time customer to VIP customer, this is not automatic. There is something that you do in the background. So to make a first time customer, you are doing sampling, you are doing trial. The moment you get a first time customer, you are doing a welcome call. This will lead to repeat customers if you run schemes and offers for them. Then if you have a proper engagement plan, which is automated in the background, some of these customers will become habitual customers. You run a loyalty program with your habitual customers, they'll become loyal. And then you run a VIP plan, some of the loyal customers will become VIP customers. Now, what is interesting here is that why do you need technology to do this? You can tell me that, sir, I have only 10 customers, so I don't really need a software for 10 customers. Well, I want to tell you that even for 10 customers, it's good to have a software because you are trying to track the evolving nature of the customer's demand in a way that you are able to mine the lifetime value of the customer. And ये जो नीचे red color में लिखी है, unless you are able to continuously calculate these figures for all your customers, you will not be able to see the light of the day where your first time customers become VIP customers. So you have elements like what is the basket value, what is the basket size, what is lapse session, what is stickiness, recency, frequency, monetary value. So by the time you have calculated all these 6 parameters for all your customers across their level of loyalty with you, you will see that it's a very complex dragnet. Even with 10 customers, out of which only 5 became repeat customers, so the balance 5 have to be engaged. The 5 who became repeat customers need to be advocated engagement plan according to their own buying habits. So 5 different kinds of engagement plan with 10 different kinds of loyalty plans. So you understand it becomes complex, not possible to do on Excel sheet, and very, very important in today's world. So fifth hack, my fifth hack to you is social CRM. And for those of you who feel that it is enough to have CRM, you need to understand, friends, that CRM is not the end of the story. The world has moved 2 steps forward in the last 3 to 4 years, and no longer CRM is the latest. It is social CRM which is the latest. And here I would quickly like to explain to you what is the relationship between social CRM and CRM. So social CRM revolves around all the social listenings and social conversation which is happening on internet. Now let's assume that you are selling rubber rollers. Now when you're selling rubber rollers, you have to track the keyword called rubber roller on internet, because anyone on internet who is searching for rubber roller, or anyone on internet who is writing a blog on rubber roller, or who is making a comment, a complaint, any conversation on internet with the keyword rubber roller needs to be tapped. And after you tap it, that's what we call social CRM. So in essence, when you start tracking social conversations on internet vis-a-vis the keywords of your liking, you start doing social CRM, and the output of social CRM will become the input of CRM in the forms of leads, which then travels through CRM to become an order. So social CRM is a kind of backward integration to the normal CRM. And ladies and gentlemen, we have finished 5 hacks. I need to go for 5 more hacks. And at this juncture, my colleague Charles has posted a feedback link in the chat group. Please download the feedback link, and after the program, do not forget to put in your feedback. We are midway into it, 5 hacks finished. Do you find these 5 hacks relevant? Just write R if you find them relevant. Yes, into the chat box. If you find them relevant, write an R there. Okay, Rajesh Sharma, Shivam Gupta, Surbi, Sanjay Agarwal. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Moving on, the sixth technology hack, managing the cloud. It's very, very important, friends. You must have heard that keep your data on the cloud, keep your inquiries on the cloud, keep your videos on the cloud. I mean, everything today is kept on the cloud, to an extent that even the Tally software or any accounting software that you use has started keeping your accounting data in the cloud. Now, the question is that cloud is a technology, and as a sales manager, if you do not know how to handle the cloud, you might be misusing the cloud more than using it. For example, you have something called Evernote or OneNote as your digital diary. Now, if you are using Microsoft, you got to use OneNote. If you are using Apple, you got to use a different digital diary. Now, the moment you start using a calendar of one platform, a digital diary of another platform, so let's assume that you start using Microsoft Outlook calendar, and then you start using Evernote diary, and then you start using some other to-do like yoga.com or anydo.com, you actually get mixed up into the various clouds. So you need to understand the cloud technology. I mean, if I discuss something very simple, the moment you have an incoming call in your office, There is a cloud technology for making a software based call center. So you can actually have an IVRS who is picking up the call, allocating the call to the right person, recording all the calls in the background. You have companies like Nolarity.com, and you have a Nagpur based company called BigV.in, and many other companies which provides you cloud telephony. So you have cloud data, you have cloud telephony, you have cloud video conferencing, you have everything in the cloud. So my sixth hack with you is, if you want to do great in sales, you must know how to manage the cloud. Otherwise, you will end up losing it all. My seventh hack is, you must have a very clear understanding of payment gateways. Now, what is a UPI? What is Bheem? What is Paytm? What is Payphone? What is iPay? You have so many of them. And then you have every bank's credit card, debit card, and you have the POS machine, you have the email process controller. Now, what I'm trying to say here, are you making use of payment gateway, and how do you do it? Well, you have PayPal system, which makes payment gateways more credible. You have Sodesco vouchers, which is a kind of currency which you use to avoid the payment gateway. You have companies like Cred, which supports your, which kind of veneers your credit card. My favorite is instamojo.com, because instamojo.com is like an outer layer which gives you the option of everything. So the moment you're registered with instamojo.com and it is free, you have a payment gateway which covers your credit card, debit card, EPOS, POS machine, PayPal, everything. Yes, when you route your payments through instamojo.com, they take their percentage, but that's a very small percentage, and it is worth its while if you want to make use of payment gateway. So my hack number 7, payment gateway, which you must know what is the right payment gateway for you. My hack number 8 is business intelligence. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are into business, you should understand the power of regression analysis, which means that analysis of past data, what has happened in your business for the last 5 years, 3 years, 4 years, depending on what kind of data you have. And you should also have the power of taking it forward, as in doing a fast forward and trying to extrapolate your demand forecasting, your goal setting, your cash flows, your fund flows. How do you do it? What are the technology platforms which helps you do it? So there are a lot of technology platforms which helps you do it. Business intelligence is my 8th hack. My 9th hack is self-management skills. And I personally feel that a lot of times the SME CEO or the sales manager is not very well managed personally. How do you do your time management? How do you do your document management? How do you do your video management, your social media management? So there has to be some technology tool which helps you in your self-management. Now, needless to say, there are various platforms which helps you in doing your self-management. But the problem is that you should not have a combination. Like, I know people who use a manual diary, and they also use a OneNote digital diary. Now, in the process, half of the things is written in OneNote and half of the things is written in their manual diary, and they never have one comprehensive integrated place where everything is available. So you have digital diaries, you have digital calendars, you have digital reminders, you have so many technology tools available for self-management. 9th hack, please look for ways and means of creating a better technologically managed self-management skills. And my 10th hack is project management. And this is especially for those of you who are involved in projects. Now, when you're involved in projects, you have performance evaluation and review techniques, you have critical path method, you have Gantt charts. So how do you combine all these 3-4 things, which are very, very necessary and elementary for your work, into one technology tool, so that you can seamlessly cascade from one place to another when you are doing your project management? So those are the 10 technology hacks that I discussed with you. The name of the portals which I discussed with you is not important, but the areas where you need to look at technology in sales to be able to further your sales is very important. So what are those areas where you think you can make use of technology? So first we discuss sales team management, then we discuss lead generation, social media management, CRM, social CRM, cloud management, payment gateways, business intelligence, self-management, and project management. So I would like to conclude today's session by telling all of you that, ladies and gentlemen, we got to know how to make use, or rather how to make best use of technology in sales. Because if you do not know how to make use of technology in sales, very soon we might run into a scenario where people who are not half as intelligent as us will take over just because they have a better understanding of technology. So on those words, I bring an end to today's Sales Ki Pathshala.